In the last 2 decades, Uganda has carried out several policy, legal and institutional reforms aimed at promoting the conservation and sustainable use of the country's forest resources. Among the key reforms include putting in place the National Forestry Policy in 2001, enactment of the National Forestry and Tree Planting Act in 2003, and putting in place institutional arrangements like the National Forestry Authority, among others. Despite the above interventions, Uganda continues to lose forest cover at a very alarming rate. The rate of tree planting and forest restoration does not match the rate of deforestation and forest degradation. It's upon this move that the National Forestry Authority boss Mike Mogisa is challenging government to enforce the law that will enable people plant more trees if found in an act of deforestation, especially on the forest reserves.
Appealing to the government to rethink of the tree fund. The SPGS, those are commercial people, but there's a lot of what we need to plant as people. The tree fund, according to our discussions, has almost been thrown out. We're still discussing it, and we can get more money to do tree planting. About the government, I wanted to assure people here, His Excellency the President himself has ordered no destruction of natural forests. No destruction of any forest near a water body, and people to vacate forest reserves.
Although for many years it has been reported that Uganda was losing approximately 9,000 hectares of forest cover annually, recent studies indicate that the forest cover loss has increased to now an estimated 200,000 hectares annually. This has now prompted the Lands Ministry to cancel all land titles in the forest reserves and those issued in forest before or after the 2005 Constitution. The State Minister for Lands, Honorable Persis Namuganza, reaffirmed government's commitment to save the natural forests. She says more business personnel have gone ahead to individualize these forests.
Constitutional matter that land is preserved for this purpose must not be alienated. But you see, somehow, somewhere, people have gone ahead to individualize some of these reserves, especially the forests and wetlands. As government, protection of forest cover takes precedence over any other alternative land use practice. Government will cancel any land title in the forest reserves.
We need to commit ourselves as members of Stone and partners and commit this country to implement actually the legal policy and institutional reforms, and we will be able to reverse the catastrophe that is looming.
The coordinator, Operation Wealth Creation, Colonel John Baptist Mulindwa, who represented the chairperson, General Salem Saleh, called for the sensitization of people by government to persuade people from avoiding to cut down forests other than using force, as majority could be ignorant about the law.
Hindering man in causing insecurity and going beyond the laws governing forestry, there is a need to give those involved in illegal practice an exit. That is, providing an alternative to persuade that person refrain from the criminal behavior.
Most part of the increasing deforestation and forest degradation is attributed to governance-related issues, of which point to an emerging crisis in the forest sector. The Parliamentary Committee Chairperson on Natural Resources, Honorable Alex Biarahanga, spotted out some government departments that could have led to the crisis, including indulging into corruption-related activities.
Schools, army and prisons, refugees, NEMA. The biggest problem is NEMA. The most corrupt, I think, institution is NEMA. Look, yes. I've been in where you saw me on TV, and we are still continuing in Lake Victoria. Mining sand in Lake Victoria with permission from NEMA, and you are still crying out and saying, cry indeed the brave country. What are you telling me? What are you saying? You give out permits. You give out licenses, you don't follow.
In order to address the above challenges and protect the environment, these foresters came out with solutions to protect the forests that include avoiding politicizing issues that affect the society.
But all these institutions that are responsible for managing the environment, the NEMA, Forest Authority, Wildlife Authority, and strengthen them so that they get the mandate to manage these resources. 4, stop political and bureaucratic corruption and pretense if we are to manage these forests. Finally, declare all these protected areas and forest reserves into national security objects so that we can stop romanticizing about them. Beyond that, we are pretending.
Enforcement of forest policies, laws, and standards stand out as one of the major factors undermining effectiveness and efficiency in the management of Uganda's forest resources. As a result, forest crimes and illegalities such as illegal timber cutting and trade, illegal charcoal burning, and non-compliance are said to be on an increase. Brian Senkumba, Channel 44 Television.